All right, hey gang. I am doing a uh, video version of our newsletter, so I just wanted to give a quick, give this a try. This might be the one time only, so just quick update from some of our members. Troy, who last meeting we heard about his project, and basically he wanted to give a little progress report and say that he did mobilize to the site. So if you ever want to drop in on him and see how things are going and see how the rehab and the house move and all that is going, definitely feel free to reach out to him. Rory, we toured this when it was gutted, or not, maybe not quite gutted, but pretty under pretty major repair this summer. Rory showed us this flip he was doing, and this is out in Three Forks. It's more along the frontage road. It's kind of on the Bozeman side of Three Forks. Roy just wanted to give an update that, hey, I finished the rehab and I've got it listed for sale. So if you know anyone that's looking for a nice home with a big piece of land and a shop, you can find it on Craigslist. There's a link down there. So our members continue to just crush it and keep active and keep doing things. So it's pretty cool. Just quick meeting announcement. I don't know how to move my guy here. There we go. Just be aware, usually we meet on the first Monday of the month, but the next two meetings are going to be different just because of scheduling and that sort of thing. So we're going to meet on the second Monday of the month in November and the first Tuesday in December. So this coming meeting, we won't have a links to join video conference because there's no point in joining our discussion because we're going to break out into small groups and play cash flow board game. And do some of that, and also we'll have some discussion and networking as well. In November, I'm pretty excited. This will be a video conference. We'll video these guys in. The Agronostros is they have two sub companies, I guess. One they do is coffee farms in Panama, and another is cacao or chocolate in Belize. And that's a pretty cool investment structure that they have, and a pretty cool setup. And so we'll hear about that in December. So please plan on joining us for either of those two meetings. The topic today is how to beat 95% of managed stock funds. What do I want to say? Sorry. Okay, this is rough. That's the way. You get what you get with me. You know how it is. There's been a number of studies over the decades, like really since 1950s, they started doing these studies where they would compare managed funds with an index like the Dow Jones or the S&P or index or these other indexes, and like 95% or 90% or more of managed stock funds fail to beat the market index. In the 1970s, the guy who founded Vanguard funds said, well, gosh, why would I hire these high-paid stock analysts to manage a fund when I could just hire an accountant to just I'll buy I'll get the S&P 500 list of those 500 stocks and give that 500 stock list to an accountant and say, hey, when people invest in this fund, just split it equally amongst those 500 stocks, easy peasy. And so the low fee index fund was born in the 1970s and continues to outperform almost all of the managed stock funds. And so new funds come around, they try new things. Ooh, ETFs, oh, they're super cool. Well, still, the low fee index fund continues to beat them. And so I have a friend of mine that asked me to look at their portfolio, and she's asked me over the years, and I've always said, well, one thing you could do that would just that probably improve you is just fire your fund manager and invest in an index fund. And she'd go, okay, well, yeah, and I don't really see how to figure that out, and da-da-da-da-da. And so finally, she let me kind of dig deep and look at her whole portfolio. And so I did this analysis for her, and I just wanted to share it. And so she's got one fund they manage that's all stocks. This blue is the Vanguard S&P 500 index fund over these last 4 years, and this is the return she's gotten from the management. Now it's only 4 years. 4 years isn't a long track record, so it's hard to look at 4 years. But then these other funds, there's a split. This idea of a stock split. Do 80% in stocks and 20% in bonds, or 50-50. And she actually has a fund for each. And so for this one, I just said, hey, if you were to take 80% and invest in the Vanguard S&P 500, and take 20% and invest in the Vanguard Intermediate Treasuries Fund, which is basically 10-year treasuries that they buy, 10-year loans from the government to the government, and just do 80-20, what return would you get, and what return has she gotten? Money in, money out. How much money have you put in, and what's your balance? So I compared that, and then I also compared a 50-50 split with those two indexes. There's not really an index bond fund per se, so I just use the treasuries, but as a comparison, you see that one's actually pretty close. But really, let's look at this one here. The fact is there is a positive return, so that's good. At least they're not losing her money, and there is and they're chugging along pretty good. And if you look at it at any given year, comparing this is that 80-20 over the 11-year period, there's a lot of years that it's pretty close, and years when they're behind, it's a few percent, not a big deal, and heck, some years they even beat it. One argument that's made is, well, yeah, we don't gain as much, but we're not as risky. We don't lose as much in the downturn. That's generally not true. They lose bigger in the downturns and don't gain as much in the upturns. That's just the way it is. And it's not all funds. There are 5% of funds out there that do beat the index consistently over the long run. But if you look at managed funds, yeah, they might have a year where they beat it occasionally, but over the long run, they'll underperform it. And so if you look at kind of the long run average return, these percentages here are the average annual return over this 11-year period. You can see the difference, and it's pretty massive. And in this case, it's the difference between, $100,000 in your account and $300,000 in your account. It's a big difference, or maybe 200,000 versus 300,000, something like that. So it can be a pretty big deal over the long run. So if you want to beat, if you are invested in stocks and you want to beat 95% of professional, educated, super certified, full-time fund managers, just invest in the stock index fund. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is just member benefits. So if you're this is for if you're not a member. If you are a member, hey, thank you for supporting our club. Please share. And I think this video we're going to make public. So just share this video, share it with friends, invite people to our club. Let's grow our club. Our focus is passive investment income. So it's not about capital gains. It's not about riding the stock market and hoping that it increases. It's about dividend as opposed to stock price. We're focused more on the dividend, but we also tend to get out of Wall Street as well. So although I talked about the topic of this month's newsletter was stocks, we generally don't talk about stocks in our club. It's real estate, small business, this sort of thing. Hey, become a member if you want to break free from Wall Street and you want to invest in things that get a higher investment income return. Join our club. And there's no guarantees. This is just education. There's no advice given in this club. It's just education and a chance to network and meet with other folks and get encouragement and be encouraged and encourage and be encouraged. Because it takes guts to really get good returns. It takes education and guts. So we have a few. So what do you get if you become a member? And you can go to our Bozeman Investor Club .com. And even though there's a www, if you just go www.bozemaninvestorclub.com, it will pop you to this page. And you can see we've got our upcoming meetings are always on this page too. And you can check out on the member tab and read more about becoming a member. I write a newsletter every month with, I hope, good information and member updates and things, just interesting food for thought, encouragement, etc. and you get that newsletter. This video newsletter we're making public, but you'll get a monthly newsletter that usually only goes out to our full members, our paying members. You get to attend meetings. We do let people attend a couple meetings for free, so please check us out and join. Participate for free for a little bit to make sure this is the right club for you. And then you get a chance to network with members, a newsletter. Also, we've got some group memberships to some pretty cool tools if you're investing in real estate, a property search tool and a rental meter, which is a rent rate estimator, which is pretty cool. So like I said, we do allow a couple of people, we call them our couch surfers, people that attend a couple meetings for free. And then we've got people that just want to be on our mailing list. They just want to hear about what's going on. Maybe they're not quite ready to take the leap and join us. And so they hang, they're just on our email list, and they get, just kind of meeting announcements basically. But if if you're ready to take the plunge and get around people that are trying to grow their wealth by building passive investment income, become a full member and get around us, get educated and network with us. $90 a year. Again, we're kind of sticking with investment theme. Duplex, I guess, is our couples membership. But if you and your spouse want to join, the second membership is half price. So it's $135 for 2 people for 1 year. You can also just drop in from time to time, but just because that's a pain for us to collect those dues and kind of keep track of people, we charge $20 a month for that, just to drop in once. But if you drop in once or twice, do it for free, please. Figure out. Pretty easy to enroll. Come here. I know this is a little bit clunky, but read the membership agreement. Make sure you agree with it. And then you can subscribe, pay with credit card through or PayPal through the PayPal app. You can do individual or group membership. And then once you pay, I'll see that you paid and who you are, but also we'll ask that you just kind of go here and give us your name, telephone, and email address so that we can keep in touch with you and verify that you have agreed to the membership agreement, and give a note that, hey, I paid through PayPal at X date. Or you can bring a check to the meeting or whatever you want. Make checks out to Bozeman Investor Club. So, hey, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the first video version of the monthly newsletter, and get out there and make some passive investment income.